Hi everyone, Bakir here. I have a very special guest with me today. His name is Gagan Jatana from GM Finance. He is a financial advisor and a specialist in asset finance. The topic of discussion today is all about asset finance. And I would like to firstly thank you, Gaganji, for your time. And let's dive into the discussion. What actually is asset finance and how does it work?
Good afternoon, Bakir Bhai, and to all the listeners. Once again, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, we'll keep it nice and simple. Asset finance is obtaining financing up to 100% on your new or used equipment. Equipment can be your business vehicles, any other assets that are owned by the business. So to make it simple, if you compare it to your home, so home is your asset, you take a loan against it. In this case, your vehicles or other equipments as your asset, you take a loan against those assets.
Okay, brilliant. And so how does it work? Is it very similar to how a normal business loan or a mortgage works, or is it different?
Yeah, the process is pretty similar to a business loan because asset finance, it can be done under personal name, but most of the times the asset finance that we have done over the years when I was at the bank for 12, 13 years and now as a financial advisor, most of the business finance, asset finance deals under the company or a non-personal entity and banking would, and the assets that can be financed as part of asset finance includes vehicles like cars, trucks, or utes. If we talk about construction equipments, we can get funding against forklifts, diggers, and then we can arrange funding for any type of manufacturing equipment, agriculture equipments, food processing machines. If there is a business if there is an asset finance asset under the business, we can arrange funding for it.
Great. That was actually my next question as to what are generally the type of assets covered within asset finance. Are there any other assets that are also generally covered under asset finance? Or let's say, what are the most common types of assets do you see from your experience being covered under
Yeah,
this?
a good question. I mean, over the years, we have funded pretty much all type of assets. It really depends on client's industry. So to make it simple, we have funded trucks, courier vans, utes, diggers. We have even funded a food processing machine, which was worth 450,000. And you would hope that who gives loan against a machine that is just sitting there and making pies or donuts, but we have arranged funding for it. So
Mm.
yeah, it all depends upon assets that are owned by a particular client or business. If they have any questions, feel free to contact us and we will be able to figure it out whether we can arrange funding against those particular assets or not.
Okay. So then why should someone consider going for asset finance, say, rather than using their own savings or maybe their property equity?
Yeah, this is something which we have seen over the years. So, a bit sort of background about GM Finance. So, me and my business partner, Mandeep, we started this company towards the beginning of last year. Before that, we were business bankers. So, why I've given our introduction is because what we saw when we came as financial advisors were that all the businesses, most of the businesses, when they were taking funding, the funding was done as equity from their personal home loans. Now, the thing is, the question that we ask clients or their accountants is, so you've got an asset under the business, which can be provided as a security to the banks or to the other lenders. Why are we tying clients' personal property for that asset? The answer to that is, oh, because they can get lower rate, home loan rate. That's the easiest thing to do. You are providing your personal property as a security to the bank for an asset that is going to be owned by the business. To make it simple, so a courier driver who owns a home goes to bank or their advisor and say, look, I want to buy a courier van. The easiest thing for banker and the advisor is to apply for a home loan top up to purchase a courier van. The loan is done over 7 years, 10 years. The rate that is given is housing rate. That courier driver is out and about on the road. So the loan is done as a home loan secured by client's property equity. So that client, first of all, we have tied up his equity. If he wants to go out and buy another property, he won't be able to because we have already used his equity towards the courier van. Second thing, I have actually seen the loans done over 15 years. Even let's say in this scenario, the loan is done over 7 years. My question to client or their accountant is that we have done this loan, which will be repaid over 7 years. But what will be the value? Do you think that the client will hold on to that courier van for 7 years? He probably may have to change that courier van after 3 or 4 years. So he's selling that courier van, which has pretty much depreciated, and then the loan is still outstanding. But if that loan is done as an asset finance, where the loan is secured against the van, it's done over, say, depending upon vehicle's age, we can get it up to 7 years, but normally we tend to do it for 4 or 5 years, depending upon how many kilometers that courier van is doing in a year. So we actually match the age with the asset. So that loan will be repaid in shorter term. It will be paid by the business. Bakir Bhai, you are an accountant. You know the expenses that can be written against under the business because that asset is being used for business purposes. So there are a number of advantages where someone should go for asset finance compared to using their own savings or using their property equity towards purchasing the business asset. Other thing is if you have got funds sitting in your business account and you take out those funds to purchase a vehicle or any type of business asset, that may affect your cash flow. So your business is doing well today, but then we don't know it's business. What will happen in next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months? COVID has actually taught us that nothing is guaranteed. So that may affect your cash flow. Whereas if it's done as a asset finance, you are not using your business or personal funds. You have got access to extra funds. Yep, you're providing that vehicle as a security.
Interesting. So from what I understand, there is what you're saying is whether the interest rate is lower or not is only one part of the equation. Probably the other part of equation which not is sometimes looked at is the fact that what is your risk level, the number of years the loan is over, and the other factors that you mentioned. Interesting. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, sorry, I would just like to add, Bakir Bhai, it's not only about buying a new or a used vehicle. It's even reviewing the interest rate on your current. If you've got an asset finance or if you've got a business line, but you have a vehicle under the business, it's just about picking up a phone call with either me or Mandeep. Our contact details will be shared by Bakir Bhai. So what I mean by that is reviewing. If you've got a asset finance, which is with another provider on a higher rate, we are actually accredited asset finance brokers with the main banks and lenders here in New Zealand. So we can review your rate. We can refinance the asset on a lower rate. What that means for you is just pretty much like what we talked about before. You save on interest, you get onto lower rates, and then if your business is struggling, but you've got an asset, you need funds for cash flow, we can arrange you those funds as well. There are a number of things. So we are very passionate about asset finance. We are one of the 10 companies in New Zealand who are the accredited asset finance broker with the main banks. So what it means is that gives us access to wholesale rates, the rates that we may be able to get you as better than what bank can offer. So it's all about picking up a phone call, asking us questions and doing the right thing for you and your business.
Okay, sounds exciting. Yes, I can definitely see that you're passionate there. And especially if clients can get better interest rates, then why not, is what I say. So if someone wants to explore this further, what I will do is I will share your contact details, if you allow me to, within the comments section. And if someone wants to reach out to you please do so. Gagan ji is an expert in this field. Him and Mandeep, they can help you assess what works probably best for your scenario, because we've obviously talked about general scenarios, but this is very helpful. Thank you once again, Gagan ji, for your time. I really appreciate this, and I hope I have not kept you away for too long from your other commitments. And thank you very much, and we will stay in touch.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. See you.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.